Evelyn to Philip, V-mail dated September 13th, 1944. My sweet, just as I thought, it rained all day today for the second day in a row. The air is heavy with dampness, and it is sticky and uncomfortable. The paper says more rain, but I hope it is wrong. This morning, I guess Mom and Harry had a consultation. Mom told me to have the radio repaired and that she and Harry would pay the cost. However, I'm still going to take it to some other place to see if they too will charge $8.50. I neglected to tell you what was wrong with the radio. The whole trouble is merely two tubes, one of which is practically unobtainable except through black market, which naturally makes it costly. I know where I can get Pyrex bottles, and I am going up tomorrow morning, providing it doesn't rain as hard as it's been raining these past 2 days, to get them once and for all. Don't worry, dear, I won't forget the nipples. I also forgot to tell you that I mailed you a Jewish letter from Mom 2 days ago. Undoubtedly, you'll get this before that arrives. I'm glad you advised us not to be expecting mail from Ed. I assure you, Ruth keeps the correspondence going strong. Tonight she mailed him 4 letters, and fairly long ones at that. I wore my suit to work every day this week, thus far, due to the rain and chilliness, and believe me, honey, that suit has certainly served its purpose. I enjoy it more than anything I have to wear, and hope to be able to buy another before this winter is out. I get more wear out of such an outfit than anything else. You know, I almost forgot to send along my wishes for a Happy New Year, so I hereby do so at this moment. Let's drink a toast to our reunion in 45. Early 45, if you please. I love you, my darling Phil, and can hardly wait for the day when I gather you close to me and love you with all that I've stored up within these many months. I think I'd better sign off before I just evaporate. And I wouldn't want to evaporate till I had a chance to give you the love of your Ev. P.S. Sorry this has to be so short, but I'm really at a loss of words this evening. Surprised? Philip to Evelyn, 13th September 1944. Dearest one, your happy V-mail of 6th September arrived this afternoon, and it is a welcome change from the glum letters you have been writing here of late. I gathered from it that you had written on the 5th, but I haven't received that one yet. You must have received my longie about my visit to Eddie on that day, because you voiced no anxieties on his behalf. Moreover, your letter is just packed with news. First, you say you are going to write to the Wolfs, but that you will have to send the letter in my care. If I remember correctly, I sent along their address in my next letter. Hope you find those Pyrex bottles and nipples. They call them teats over here. First time I heard Evelyn call them that, I think I blushed. No kiddin'. I was wondering why you weren't sending me any more candy. You divulged the reason in today's letter. What you trying to do, kid? Thin me down by remote control? Seriously, honey, a bar of candy each day isn't going to make that much difference. Bet you pictured me eating the whole box at one sitting, didn't you? Besides, I'm only 2 or 3 pounds heavier than my usual 176 pounds, and I expect to get rid of the excess playing ping pong. Now will you send the candy, please? Was surprised to learn that Mickey Brown is already in France. He'll probably wind up in one of the great port cities there, like Cherbourg or Brest or Le Havre. He'll be okay. Of course, I hadn't forgotten that day at Delaware Park when you met Ace. May he rest in peace. It had just slipped my mind. I still feel badly about his loss. I had so counted on having him up to the house to play pinochle, etc. We used to have fun together, and through all the years of our friendship, there was never a cross word between us. I'll miss him. Now that Adele has finished cutting her teeth, you should be getting more sleep, Chippy, and putting on a few pounds. By the way, what is your weight these days, sweet? In your last long paragraph, you sound very much the proud mama. You point with pride to the fact that the pumpkin has grown, page 2, up overnight, that you can carry on a conversation with her, and how cute she looks in her upsweep hairdo. Hope you're shying away from the curls. The thing that really amused me, though, was your annoyance at my habit of referring to her fatness. We'll pass over the fact that I never used that adjective in speaking of the cheesecake. I may have made some allusion to her fat little legs, but I'm not admitting it. You are very painstaking in your efforts to convince me that she is not as chubby as she looks in her pictures, and that tickles me too. Don't ask me why. I could never explain it. Don't fret yourself about it, honey. I'm sure that she is just as you say, and that none of her pictures do her justice. Her daddy is very proud of her, you may rest assured, and he is equally proud of her mommy, who has so efficiently performed the hard task of nurturing her through her infancy. When I consider the few years it took you to develop from an irresponsible kid to a loving wife and devoted mother, my pride and admiration in you knows no bounds. I know I've said as much on a few previous occasions, darling, but I want you to know that I'll never stop appreciating you, nor will I ever take you for granted. You are wonderful, my Evie, and I could never say as much as I feel about that. You'll excuse me now, I know, so I may get cleaned up in time to make the first show at the theater. The picture is Murder in Thornton Square. I believe it goes under the title of Gaslight in the States. The principals are C. Boyer and I. Bergman, so I don't see how it can fail to be a good show. Tell you all about it tomorrow, sweet. Hasta mañana then, carissima mia. My love to Adele and all. Devotedly, your Phil. P.S. Don't forget the candy. That's all. Note card, New Year's card from Clara Wagner, Phil's co-worker at Sharp and Dome, dated September 13th, 1944. Dear Phil, no doubt you already heard from your wife that I had contacted her for your address. Also, she discovered that she knows my brother and his wife and her family. She'll tell you all about it. Our phone conversation was very amusing. I kept kidding her, saying that I discovered you were my cousin. When I pay my brother a visit, I'll try and stop to say hello to her and your baby. Very best wishes for a speedy, peaceful New Year. Clara.